What's going on, my beautiful DC brothers and sisters? It's your boy, the Truth 31. Hit like, subscribe for all that DC goodness on your face, neck, and chest. And today I am reviewing what I think is one of the most underrated Batman films ever made. And of course, that's Batman Forever, hashtag release the Schumacher cut. And it's funny because due to the reception, the mixed reception of Batman Returns, which I did a video on, so please feel free to click on that and subscribe and all that good stuff. Watch the video. Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, they wanted to reteam for the third film, but of course, due to the mixed reception of Batman Returns, Tim Burton opted out not to do it. And in fact, Tim Burton actually had, I'm not joking when I say this, if you don't know, Marlon Wayans. Yes, Marlon Wayans as in the Wayne brothers. Yes, Tim Burton had actually cast him to play Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Robin. Yes, he was going to be Robin in the Tim Burton verse, in the Tim Burton Batman Forever, which was going to be the third movie. But of course, Tim Burton opted out. And of course, Michael Keaton loved working with Tim Burton. So Michael Keaton said, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. So see ya. I'm out. I'm not doing this. And of course, due to the just the mixed reception of Batman Returns and, of course, the screaming parents who felt like the Batman was a little too dark, sound familiar, because they couldn't sell merchandise, they couldn't sell toys. The parents didn't want, their kids, wanting Batman Returns toys because of the penguin of and the dark nature of what was going on in Tim Burton's movies. They felt like it should have been more kiddish. They felt like it should have been more family friendly. Again, does this ring any bells? It sounds like a certain film that's coming out next year, All the Rage. And it's just like, and yes, this is actually concept art of Marlon Wayans, Robin. Oh my God, this looks, excuse me, but this just looks terrible, boy. Oh my God, I'm just not a fan of this concept. Like, even in concept, it looks terrible. I'm just not a fan of the design at all. So, of course, we didn't get that because of the screaming moms who were like, I don't want Batman to be so dark. This shouldn't be for kids. What are you doing to my kids? Blah, blah, all that bullshit. So, of course, here comes in, Joel Schumacher, who just like, look, who actually wanted Michael Keaton to be Batman. He wanted to work with Michael Keaton, but Mike Keaton said, you know what? I'm out. I'm not working with you. I want to, I'm out of this project. So, Joel Schumacher is like, all right, well, I'm gonna direct this, and I'm gonna get Michael Keaton. I wish I'm gonna get Val Kilmer to be the new Batman. And of course, and there's some misconception on whether Joel Schumacher wanted a light film or wanted a dark film. Obviously, with the resurgence of Release the Schumacher cut, Joel Schumacher wanted a more serious tone for Batman Forever. He wanted a more darker approach to the character. He wanted to continue the Tim Burton legacy and just continue on the dark path and really focus on the psychological drama behind Bruce Wayne and his trauma and what led him to become the Batman. But of course, Warner Brothers, they stepped in and it's like, nope, we don't want to do that. Because of the reception of Batman Returns and because of the reception of Batman 89, we want this to be more family friendly. So we want you, Joel Schumacher, to brighten things up and make it feel more like the Adam West cartoon. So Joel Schumacher was like, all right, well, I'll fucking do it. But that's not what I wanted to do in the first place. And a lot of people will blame Joel Schumacher for the demise of, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which I will do a review later on soon. But, with all the recent news coming out, I don't blame Joel Schumacher because, like I said, he wanted to make a darker Batman movie. But, of course, it was Warner Brothers, a good old Warner Brothers, coming in and messing everything up. And Val Kilmer actually did a fantastic job as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I know there was some tension on set between Joel Schumacher and Val Kilmer. They didn't really get along, which is a shame because I think Val Kilmer is one of the best Batman/Bruce Waynes on screen. I think he really delves deep into the psyche of what makes Bruce Wayne tick and what makes Batman, be Batman. And I love the stoic nature of Bruce Wayne. I loved it. I thought Val Kilmer did a fantastic job in portraying that mystery, that the darkness, the stoic nature of who Bruce Wayne is. And it's a shame that we didn't get to see more of that character in further movies because Val Kilmer to this day is still one of the most underrated Batmans ever. I love the costume. I love his voice. Like he had a Batman voice that wasn't annoying at all. He had a great Batman voice. Like it was low, raspy. It wasn't too forced. It just feels natural. It feels like how I would imagine a Bruce Wayne talking. He didn't need a voice box. He didn't need to fucking sound like Christian Bale who had fucking throat cancer. He actually sounds like a normal human being with just lower octaves in his voice. I thought he was great, and I love the look of Bruce Wayne. Again, I love the costume. I think it's still the costume from Batman '89, and then later on in the film, he changed the costume to more like a silverish, sort of like throwback to Adam West and stuff like that. But I thought the costume was like really good. It was a really good design, and again, his Batman was really underrated. So it's a shame that we didn't get to see a lot more of him. And same with Tommy Lee Jones at Two Face. Ugh, Tommy Lee Jones. Here's the problem. Tommy Lee Jones would have been an awesome Harvey Dent, but he's not playing Two-Face. He's playing the Joker. He's playing Jack Nicholson's Joker. And I don't want that for my Two-Face. That's not Two-Face. That's not the character of Two-Face. That's not how he's portrayed in the books. That's not how he's portrayed in live action. Now, Aaron Eckhart in Dark Knight, he portrayed a much better Harvey Dent. But this, it's too over the top. It's too campy. And I know that's the tone of the film, but still, again, I don't know if that's the studios or Joel Schumacher. I don't know if in the Joel Schumacher cut, if he's going to be a much more, down to earth, less campy Harvey Dent. I don't know. We have to wait and see. But what we got on the theatrical version, it's just not Two-Face, which is a shame because it's Tommy Lee Jones, who is a fantastic actor. And he's a perfect choice to play Harvey Dent. He would have been fantastic. And unfortunately, just the campiness and the over the top caricature of Two-Face, it just didn't mesh well. And the same goes with Jim Carrey. And I know Jim Carrey was red hot in the '90s. He was Ace Ventura. He was everywhere. He was like one of the most famous comedians. And of course, Joe Schumacher and WB, they wanted him to play the Riddler, to be goofy and crazy and out there. And I love Jim Carrey. And this Riddler, I accept it for what it is, but of course, it's not the Riddler interpretation that I want to see. I have a feeling we're going to get that in Matt Reeves' Batman coming in 20,000 years. And we're going to see a much more comic accurate Riddler with Paul Dano. But this Riddler with Jim Carrey, again, it's the '90s. It's over the top. It's campy. It's fucking wacky. And I'm just like, and you accept it. You go along for the ride. That's the thing. You accept Batman Forever for what it is. It's like a live action cartoon. It's not as silly and fucking out there as Batman and Robin. It's still within the realms of the Tim Burton dark gothic series with like the Adam West campy just poppy colors and all that stuff. And it tries to straddle that line. And I think Joel Schumacher, hopefully when we get the Schumacher cut, I think we will see a much more refined vision of what Joel Schumacher really wanted to do with Batman Forever without the studio interference and all that stuff. Because I can see, like, you can almost see it in this movie where it's like you have two different visions colliding with one another. Like there's some like really great stuff, like some serious stuff, and of course, and that's juxtaposed with some really campy, over the top cartoon shit. And I'm just like, ugh. Just like it's a frustrating watch because there's greatness in it. It's like, oh, I can see what Joe Schumacher was trying to do, and hopefully we get to see it one day. Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I love him as Robin. I love the suit. It's still a little weird seeing Dick Grayson, Chris O'Donnell, who's like 45 years old in this movie, playing a young Dick Grayson. I would have preferred if they actually cast a kid as Dick Grayson, because it would make more sense for this little kid to be adopted by Bruce Wayne, not this 45-year-old for some reason who Val Kilmer wants to adopt and train and wants to take Dick Grayson into his home. Like, bro, this dude is like 45 years old. I'm sure he can get his own place and find his own home and find his own car. Like, why do you want to adopt this grown ass man? So it's a little weird. Like, it's very strange, very odd. But again, you go with it. And Chris O'Donnell is really, I thought he was a really solid choice for Dick Grayson. I wish, if they would have just used a different storyline with Dick Grayson already like older and not in the circus and just finding his own way. I think it would have made a lot more sense story wise for, for just a better interaction with Bruce Wayne and Robin, like finding each other and Dick Grayson wanting to train with, Bruce Wayne because he finds out who he is in the movie, like where he's doing like some weird gymnastic shit just to slide in through the door that leads down the Batcave, and he sees Alfred. He's like, "Hey, Alfred, I guess I know who you are." So it's very weird, but very strange. But again, with the Schumacher cut, I think we would get a lot more extended scenes and more meat on the bone with their relationship between Dick Grayson and Val Kilmer, Bruce Wayne. So hopefully we could see that. But overall, I thought he was great. I didn't mind him at all. And I thought that, they had some great moments. Again, it's the 90s, so you have some cheesy moments here and there when, when they finally, like, Bruce Wayne, accepts him as Robin. He's like, "Who's your tailor?" And it's like, "R, what does that stand for?" It was like, bro, aren't you a detective? You should know what the fucking R stands for. It stands for Robin, bro. Come on, Batman, get your shit together. But it's a great moment, with, Val Kilmer riding the Batwing and Chris O'Donnell riding the Bat Sub or the Bat Boat, whatever he's called. Again, as a kid, like watching this, it was a great moment seeing Batman and Robin like on screen, like in live action. It was phenomenal. As a kid watching this, I'm just like, oh my god, like give me more of this. I love this. It's cheesy, but it's a great moment between Batman and Robin. And the Batmobile, not the biggest fan of the Batmobile design. I had the toy as a kid, because everybody did. I got used to it, but it is what it is. It's no Batman '89 Batmobile. And of course, these images come from the Joel Schumacher cut, which I think adds like 40 more minutes, and it's gonna be a lot darker, a lot more a lot more darker, a lot focuses on Bruce Wayne's psychological trauma as a boy and him becoming Batman and stuff like that. And this iconic shot, which I wish they would have left in the movie theaters. I wish they would have left it in the film with this great moment of Bruce Wayne confronting the Bat and confronting who he is. It's like, oh, I'm the Batman. I know who I am again, and I think it focuses on more scenes of Bruce Wayne and Alfred trying to find out like who the Riddler is and trying to solve all the Riddlers, trying to solve all the Riddler trophies like it's fucking Batman Arkham City. But again, it's all good. It's all good stuff. I love it, and hopefully, not hopefully, I'm pretty sure we will soon enough get the Joel Schumacher cut and see Joel Schumacher's true vision of what he had in mind. So hopefully, not hopefully, we will get to see it, and yeah, just support Joel Schumacher. Hashtag release the Schumacher cut. Do what you gotta do. Support Joel Schumacher. Support Batman Forever. Support the DC Bat fam community, and yeah, Batman Forever, one of the most underrated Batman films, and I love it. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Smash that like button, my beautiful DC brothers and sisters. Subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. Let's continue having a DC conversation, and as always, truth out.